These are so cute. Do they look cute on me? They're funny.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
They almost look like you got hit in the face. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hodge Pack, sports, life, and everything between. Right here on 106.9 The Current. We're glad that you're with us, kicking off a Friday that if there ever was a time that I thought the weatherman would be completely wrong, that is today, because I am tired of the wind and I don't need it to blow like it's supposed to blow today. And so hopefully it's wrong, but we are here, Hodge, Misty, and Josh, ready to rock and roll. For those that are joining us, we are brought to you by a lot of Lady Cattle. And again, of course, we are in our Potosi Live studio in the Mall of Abilene. Lots to talk about. Drama in Dallas, and it still involves not even Jerry Jones. Well, I guess it all goes back to Jerry Jones. But we're glad that you're with us. Lots going on. Josh, Misty, how are we?
Doing great.
So that's good. Josh, you had was your thing happen today that you told us about?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I hit a car,
Good.
but it all it's fine.
It was fine. It was
Yeah,
good.
I mean, just a little tap.
So just a tap, and then tap it in. July 25th, tap it in. Have no more tunes coming out.
Yeah.
Bottom of the hour, we got Al Pickett, Big Country Hall of Fame here in the Mall of Abilene. They've got their 25 class that's been announced, and they've got a big event coming up, and he'll talk about it. You want to talk about a load of knowledge. I mean, we grew up in this area. Al Pickett was that knowledge of sports, from Abilene Reporter to radio, everything. Between him and Bill Hart, they were the two on paper I remember growing up with.
Oh, I do distinctly remember, and I've talked to him about this the last time he was on the show, listening to his sports talk radio show back in the, I guess it was the early 2000s that he was doing that.
So Al's good, and I mean David Bacon, those people are the people we grew up listening to sports-wise locally. But today's kind of special, not completely till Sunday, but Misty came in with some decorations. If those that are watching, they kind of match her shirt.
I know. I picked beads that match mine.
Yeah, and so over the hill, and we got some glasses. We'll have some photos, but our mall walkers, I'm anxious to see what our mall walkers think with the over the hill workers on old people. Misty joins our club on Sunday, Josh.
They're much older than you.
Yeah,
The average age of the mall walker exceeds your age.
Well, it's funny you say that. So what was your first thought? Now, let me give me your first thoughts, and I'll give you the explanation that I got when I was purchasing this stuff.
When I walked in, at first I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh, I see what you did there.
You thought the police actually came here?
I thought something may have been roped off for a reason. And then I was like, oh, we got a funny guy this morning.
Yeah, and so the lady that was checking me out at Hobby Lobby yesterday, or at the store, was like, not judgmental, but I'm assuming she was older than us. And when you're purchasing over the hill stuff, and she was nice about it. I was like, so how old is this person? You know, and maybe she's thinking 50, 60, 70. I said, she'll be 40. And she lied, was like, kind of like, I remember 40. You know, like it wasn't that old. But over the hill, we've got glasses, we got all the things. Misty, are you nervous about it? Have you seen the movie What This Is 40, like leading up to, or?
It's a weird, like, I mean, it's here, you know, but it is a little weird. I'm not like sad, but it is very weird. I'm like, dang, my life is, I mean, granted, I could go today, but I'm like, man, my life is probably halfway over or more, or I don't know, but it is a little bit weird.
Yeah, 40. I mean, do you remember when you thought 40 was old?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Right. And I'm 47. John Conley only had the back out of 30. You never wrote the sequel out of 40 to head to 50. So right on 106.9. The Country Giant. We do have a lot of sports to cover. Lots going on, even though it seems maybe we're weaning off of football has been gone off the field for a while, but a lot going on. Free agency, the quarterback carousel is still spinning. Teams that have horses that are open that need somebody to get on. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. The Cowboys are starting to make a little bit of news, not big splashes. Adam Schefter did have a splash today that we'll talk a little bit about interest there. But dive into our Lawrence Hall headline report. The PGA Tour up and rolling, the greatest field in golf, the Players Championship, happening at TPC Sawgrass. CJ, they finished this morning. The second round, it was suspended yesterday due to darkness. CJ Villegas, JJ Spawn, Lucas Glover, all at 6 under, and a couple of people behind at 1 under. Rory McIlroy, and then of course Billy Horschel. So the show -5. We're trying to hope to do something that last year he won it back to back, and he's ever won back to back, 3 in a row. So we'll see if Scotty can do that. Yeah, I don't know. He won it 3 times. He's trying to three-peat. Other golf news: Tiger Woods ruptured Achilles training. And I wrote in the rundown, can you think of a player who has had a more injury-filled, altering career than Tiger for having such a great career, 3 majors shy of Jack, all the things that came with the wins, the money, the brand, the iconic person that Tiger is on the golf course and off the golf course, of a career that really probably would have been even better if he hadn't got it.
I was actually thinking about this, and yeah, I can't think of anybody to his magnitude. So I don't know. Josh, do you have anybody? I really can't think of anybody.
I think there's more people out there that their career was shortened. I think of Tony Romo, obviously Bo Jackson,
Right.
that their career was changed because of injury and not as successful as it could have been. But Tiger, incredibly successful. But I still think if the Thanksgiving incident doesn't happen in the wreck and all that, and everything starts shifting, the injuries, of course, the car wreck that has altered the end of his career, there's no telling how many tournaments he'd have won. And you think about now on the right side of media and everybody loving Tiger and the laughter and the different Tiger that we have, I don't think there's ever been anybody career-wise that has had that change like him.
It's something that I was trying to think through if I could think of anybody but there's a lot of unknowns, could have beens, that you might not even really realize. But yes, for where the arc was headed as far as best all time and all of those things, and then to not be able to kind of enjoy that twilight of his career still being competitive, it's quite the shift.
Because I think Jack's record of 18 majors was shaking in its boots.
I agree.
And then all of a sudden things start changing, and it's kind of like we joked about the pace of growth out where you live, where we said it's probably slowed things down. Price of housing, certain things slowed the growth out to Jim Ned on what it was. I think that's the same thing that Jackson was. Tiger's on this run to probably shatter it maybe, and then all of a sudden things start slowing it down, and now it's probably a safe record only if Scotty Scheffler doesn't do it. And right. So, yeah, I don't know, it's just, if you think about the iconic that Tiger was, and really that's the reason I think LeBron, we talked about a couple weeks ago, why LeBron is still so successful, is he's really avoided. He's had some growing injuries. He's had some things where he sat out, but he's never had anything that said, you know what, you're shaving off your career. He may play till he's 40 plus. Well, excuse me. So I just think it's very interesting to see the type of impact that Tiger's had. And
it is. You're 100%. We actually agree with him today, Josh. This is starting off good.
Well, she's on 40 club. You have to start realizing you can't always be right. But anyway, so that's taking place, and I hope Tiger gets back. Love to see him as Ryder Cup captain one day, and I don't guess there's any way he's playing in a major this year, especially the Masters. A couple things I want to talk about. Big time college basketball news. Unfortunately, ACU men and women playing out in the WAC tournament. They both lose yesterday. The men losing 69-63 to Seattle. And then the ACU women losing to Utah Valley 75-65. Another little side note: Tarleton State, they didn't start till 10:30 last night. Lose 55-51. But big local news: Sweet 16, HSU men and McMurray women are both playing in the Sweet 16. Gustavus Adolphus College out of Minnesota is who the McMurray women will play today. And then NYU is who Hardin Simmons is playing today. Sweet 16 for those two. Great turnaround by both programs, but really, especially McMurray women, they had kind of struggled for a long period of time. I'll get into the Sweet 16, big deal. We'll talk about March Madness, but conference championship tournament, very exciting going on right now. The Baylor Tech. I went to Pretty last night with Tracy, so we went to that to see that musical. It was good. It was good. I don't think I've ever seen the movie all the way through. I just know Big Mistake is the only line from that movie that I knew.
Huge, yeah. That's such a great movie.
But it was so comical that Zach sends out a text about the Baylor Tech game and asking Tech to stop making so many points and maybe Baylor to play defense. And at one time, and I'll look at it at the break, I can't remember, it was a pretty big lead at half.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
And then the show goes, we get an intermission, and I go out and I look, and all of a sudden you texted, well, that ending was exciting. What in the world happened? Did the Baptist get a devotional at half? What happened
I
that
think so.
changed it?
But no, to the point of how that game went, in the first half, Tech just did not miss a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they were 100% or 3-point at close to halftime, I think, before they missed a 3-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was incredible.
And then
the first
that just kind of turned back to normal, and then that Baylor stepped up, and then came down to a shot at the buzzer that just didn't go. But I mean, it was that close.
Yeah, I just think it's exciting. I watched Texas A&M yesterday. A lot of fun stuff going in. Selection Sunday will be here this coming Sunday. Everything will be set. We'll get a bracket out. Evan Harris won our college football bracket. We'll see. I think there's a ton of people that can win. We'll talk more about March Madness later on in the show. But again, tons to cover. When we come back, again, that's our Lawrence Hall Headline Report. The Players' Championship, we'll look at it as we get rolling. I need Hideki Matsuyama to have a really good day today. We'll talk NFL free agency, the Cowboys. Adam Schefter dropped a Shefty bomb today on maybe who we're looking at as the Cowboys. We got a problem in Big D already talking with about one guy that's already left. A lot of issues. We signed some people. We'll get some thoughts on that from Misty and Josh. But again, that's our Lawrence Hall Headline Report. Head over to Lawrence Hall, 1385 South Danville, or they're always open at lawrencehallabilene.com, and they will get you taken care of. When we come back, Major League Baseball, a Cy Young guy on the shelf with the same injury as a pair of underwear, and also hats that go wrong that are kind of funny. And if you bought one, you could be loaded. We'll be back right after this.
Speaking of hats, I like yours.
Yeah, this is from the Players.
It's cute.
It says Players.
It says Players.
For whatever reason, they thought leaving the A off would have been cool.
It's cute. I like it. Are y'all on the bandwagon of the upside down?
No, I think it's terrible.
Yeah, because that's a big
I was
trend.
afraid that you were, and
I mean, depending on what it said, maybe.
well, it all started. I mean, Dak had it with Dallas or something.
Right,
Mhm.
yes. I just was curious.
Now it's okay if you are.
Because I don't have one,
No,
but I own about 30 hats. Like y'all know, I'm a hat girl most of the time on the weekends.
So are you for or against?
I don't know. Like sometimes I see people wear them and I'm like, oh, that's cute. But I don't personally own one. I don't really know. Like they don't bother me if that's what you're.
Your question. Do you like the upside down hats? Are y'all into the upside down?
It's hard to say because it depends on what it says. I don't know.
Well, what does that matter?
Because like if it says
If Players is upside down.
no, probably not that one. I don't know. I can't make a decision.
You're already old.
Yeah, I am. So I took some birthday pictures and they turned out so cute.
You took birthday pictures?
Yes.
Like glamour shots?
Yes.
Here in the mall?
Like, no, they weren't here. They were on the streets of Abilene.
Josh, did you do that when you turned 40?
I mean, like, let me show you one of them, and you're gonna be like, that is so cute. Okay, like, here's one. I mean, come on. Is that not so cute?
Let me see.
Who took them?
Micah with double knot. Isn't it so cute? Are y'all hating that I took glamour shots?
No, I just didn't know that was a thing.
It is now.
So what motivated you?
This
Because
one's
you're-
also cute. It's a different background.
What motivated you?
A coworker. So I was talking to Emerald about it, and because I had this really cute dress, and I said,
What does it say?
it says it's my birthday, and here's like a up close one. And I said, I got this dress in downtown, and I have been holding this dress. Like, I got it a couple months ago. I was like, I'm gonna take like some fun pictures. I'll, wear this to my gathering or whatever. And then she was like, you should get Micah to take some. I was like, I don't know. She was like, it might help you, like, embrace it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And it was so much fun. So, I mean, I know y'all think that that's weird, but I had so much
It's not as
fun.
weird because you're a female. I think it'd be weird if Josh did that.
That would be weird.
And like, how great did the balloons turn out? Because it was windy. Like, there are some bloopers where the balloon was like tangled up and stuff. So, oh, and then I'll have to show y'all one from the other background. So there were 3 backgrounds. Here's the other
Seriously, though, It's not
background.
really much better.
Much better.
Green.
Where was that?
Peacock patio. Look, green.
Are
green
all of them in that one?
No.
Oh.
I was across from the country club at
No, are they all in
Fifi's.
that? It's my birthday.
Yes. And I
Well,
have,
that helps your cause. You didn't have a whole lot of wardrobe change.
no, it was amazing. I had a couple of accessories, some glasses, a little birthday crown, balloons, sprinkles.
Welcome back to the Country Giant, and it is Misty's almost 40th birthday. She's got some exciting things and all that. She's got her classes and all that, and so anyway, good times. 40's good. There's a movie about it. So we're glad that you're with us. It's time for our First Bank and Trust Texas Ranger MLB report. Lots going on in baseball this week, from on the mound, off the mound, and in fashion. March 27th, Josh. March 27th seems kind of early for opening day. Am I crazy?
No, I mean, it's a bit early. I mean, usually it's the first week of April, so,
It's not too bad, but anyway, I just noticed it, and again, thought it was odd, starting with the Boston Red Sox coming to town. Started looking at Rangers' schedule. I'm big on, I still think the Rangers are good enough. Used to, the Rangers were so bad, you went to watch who they were playing instead of watching the Rangers back in the day. But now it's like, hey, watching the Rangers, but you can find somebody good that's coming, especially the interleague stuff. I saw that the Braves are coming to town. The Dodgers are on a day that I can't go, which really kind of ticked me off. But it's good stuff. And so we'll start with the news outside of Texas Rangers, and that is Garrett Cole. I mentioned the underwear. There's underwear called the surgery that he's about to have, Tommy John, and Garrett Cole on the shelf. Josh, do you think the Tommy John surgery is kind of like the ACL in that, used to, if you had an ACL, you were out like, not necessarily a year, but even maybe a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, Adrian Peterson rocked that world when he got him back way too early. But do you think the Tommy John surgery has gotten to where people have not perfected it, but in a way that Garrett Cole will come back and be fine, or is it that big of a deal?
No, it is much more predictable now. I mean, as far as like, I guess the rehab. I mean, it's still a season, one whole year off, but generally people do come back from it, and still are able to perform at a high level, which was not always the case. As you mentioned, that used to be something that it was, when you came back, are they even going to be any good, or is that going to be able to play out? But he'll be out for a whole year.
So big blow to Aaron Boone, the Yankees, all those things. of still trying to find a way to get better and get over the hump and get back into World Series and all that kind of stuff. So Texas Rangers rocking and rolling. Did see Malley had am I saying that right, Tyler? Malley had was scheduled to start. He had a scratch. Kind of tell us where the Rangers are as we're heading into not that far from opening day, and then we'll get to the hat controversy.
Well, it's good that they have a little bit of depth in their starting pitching options because, as you mentioned, Tyler Malley was scratched for a start, and then the day later, Bradford was Cody Bradford. So he's out for the beginning of the season. So now they've got two potential starters that aren't going to be ready for the first part of the year. So that you have Jack Leiter and Kamir Rocker that were vying for rotation spots that didn't look like they were going to be on the inside. Now they apparently are going to be. But like I said, depth is important. We did get to see Jacob deGrom make his spring training debut earlier this week, and I guess it was the end of last week actually. But he looked like Jacob deGrom, so that's promising. 2 perfect innings, struck out 3. So I'm very excited about him being here this year, and because when he's on the mound, he's one of the best there is. So just to be able to watch that. Hopefully continue to go through the whole season. That would be great. So hopefully the injuries for the pitching staff can be worked around and be ready to go.
Yeah, and of course we'll get closer and we'll start looking about what do we think, how the Rangers will finish, what will the division be like. One of the things that came out, you've got the Athletics leaving and heading to Vegas. They're playing at a minor league field. Tampa Bay, I believe, is playing at one as well, or maybe the Marlins, one of those two. It'll be interesting to see what kind of fan base, what kind of excitement happens as the baseball season gets rolling. But earlier this week, it came out, the most excitement that happened in Major League Baseball was off the field. I've seen a lot, and Misty, you're basically in marketing now and some of the stuff that you do with CFA, and I guess deep down you're marketing even when you're a mortgage banker trying to get people to come and use you as their mortgage banker. But marketing is pretty important. And I know y'all give me a hard time, and I think Misty was even starting to text like me the other day, and letters matter, punctuation matter, and all that. A couple weeks ago, back in the regular season, the Dallas Cowboys had a game, and they were honoring Tom Landry, legendary coach, Hall of Famer, probably one of the best of all time, known for his fedora, everything. And they put on the huge jumbotron, Tom Laundry. Not accidentally printed, and notice I gave it to you as a typo, for $100,000 to see Tom Laundry. Multiple more to see because it went straight to social media. Not sure how that happens, but he got it all the way, not all the way just from the office, it got to the jumbotron. Misty, I don't know if you've seen, Josh, I know you did, but the MLB came out with hats. And speaking of hats, the NFL for the longest time had the ugliest hats, terrible hats. They looked like they were from a brand back in the 80s that was still trying to come back, and they just didn't execute it well. The recent hat they've done with the rope hat, the different teams, the Vikings purple and gold, perfect. Tell them you're wearing it for a Merkle Wiley game, Hardin Simmons game. The red and blue, Buffalo Bills, fantastic. Wear it to a Jim Ned game. The Cowboy hat was even cool. Major League Baseball came out with hats where they put the logo in the middle, like the T that Josh has without the flag, and the word that was the name of the team behind it. Well, when they did that, some teams looked bad. Go ahead.
I don't think you can even talk about what the hats said on the radio.
I'm going to have to look these up.
And look at the whole American League West specifically.
Okay.
So first of all, the hats are atrociously ugly. Just bad.
Oh, they're terrible.
And I get it that every year they have to come up with something, because if you've already got your team's like regular on the field hat,
You're not
probably not going to get a new one. So we got to do something different. Get somebody to go buy something.
Is it this?
Yes, that's the St. Louis one.
Yeah.
Like,
That one's
Okay,
fine.
this was the first one that popped up.
Well, because the other ones
St.
are,
Louis one doesn't say
So
anything
this-
bad, but
Yeah.
if like the Astros, putting the H in the middle of Astros does not work.
I just got that.
Then
I'm with you.
the Texas one, obviously, it says a Spanish word for female parts.
that are very pink during October.
Yes. The
see it.
Oakland Athletics ones just says a bad word, like, because A's with another S at the end.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, it's so bad.
it's
Like,
awful.
it's so bad.
But the Angels isn't any better.
The Angels isn't any better. And I'm just like, how did this get past everybody? And
Right,
like,
I
was
just
like,
don't get it.
my thought went to like somebody was giggling when they submitted this, and it like actually got approved.
The only
Like,
thing I
there
can,
had to be a troll.
well, the only thing I can think of is they won the lottery and had that, that money where people say, if I had blank money, my
Yeah,
last day would be, woo, see ya. They must have had that. Because one of two things, either they had that money and didn't need this job. Number two, they just thought maybe it was fine and maybe funny and say, you know what, it'll work. But here's the thing, and I sent this to, I think I sent it to y'all or somebody, so Ranger hat. That would be great for
yeah, because
October.
they released it, and then
It released, it was put
pulled
on,
off the.
it was put on the shelf, and people bought these hats for Texas that, again, I would be great for October. And when they pulled them off the shelves, you can now at eBay buy them from anywhere, if you want them, from $800 to $1,000 for that hat. It reminds me, and we just talked about this the other day at Mulligan when we were talking about era baseball cards. And the Billy Ripken era baseball card had a very vulgar comment on the bat handle, on the bat knob. And if you had that, to this day, when we looked it up the other day with Josh and I at Mulligan, you could still buy that Billy Ripken card for like $659. And nobody knows Billy Ripken except his last name is his brother Cal and that baseball card. These hats are that baseball card.
How much
Yeah.
are you loving the Astros hat, though?
Like, yeah, that's what, like, someone's like, you should buy that as a Rangers fan, like,
I mean,
because
it's
it's like
terrible.
derogatory about them.
Are
Yes.
they still on the shelf or do they pull
I
those?
don't know.
It appears that they have been removed from the online store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could do that, and there's a real good chance when the Astros come to town, anywhere across the MLB world,
Mhm.
that may be chanted. And I just wonder, hey, you can't throw me out. All I'm doing is supporting the brand that you hit.
yeah, like,
And here's my other deal. And
Texas is pretty bad too, though.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as the.
yeah, but everybody,
Astros,
most people are a
but-
fan of saving those. In fact, there's a T-shirt that somebody made that said, "God bless the word."
Yeah.
And they're going to make a killing off of those because it's like Grant said, capitalism at its best. Here's my other question. What got second to this idea? Because
Yes.
when you do marketing, you do not have just one idea that says, you know what, we're running with it. Because I bet even Just Do It with Nike, they had something that said, that's okay, we're going with Just Do It. What got second? Because I want to know what the hats looked like before this one won.
yeah, I mean, that is a definitely an interesting question because, like I said, beyond just the fact that it turned into something pornographic, it was like, just ugly.
Yes.
Like, just,
Oh, yeah.
like,
This looks like Mashers. We've got the whole. I've just found like the
like
whole.
every
Yeah.
team
Yes,
hat.
it's
Like,
so
there's
bad.
not one of them that you look at and think like, oh, that's a pretty cool hat.
No, they're all
Just,
like.
it's just a terrible idea.
bad.
So this isn't supposed to be the City Connect hats. These are just different hats. Like
Yeah,
they
like-
were not going to wear these on the
I
field.
don't believe so.
Okay.
It's just like I said, some idea to have some kind of, and you've seen it before where they do the hats that are like not team colors. You know, like a few years ago, like they made black hats for every team. You know, like.
The
And,
only normal one is the Brewers, or yeah, with like the glove.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no
see,
letters. It's
yeah,
just
it's-
BR and
yeah, so
But that
Brewers
one,
kinda
yeah.
works.
deep down Brewers is kind of how you'd say it anyway. You don't need
Right.
the E and W.
No,
Yeah.
that
But-
one's actually not
but-
terrible compared to all of the other ones.
So, I mean, it's a, like I said, just a kind of normal thing to make, frankly, they're generally always ugly, but those, every year something new has to come out because you have to have something to sell something.
Well, and
So,
just like we talked about a while ago, the upside down trend that y'all are not on board with.
And you
Sometimes you
are.
just don't need to try
Well,
that
she's
hard.
not.
I don't know how I
She's
feel.
not. She doesn't know where she's at. On that.
I'm not
She has
committing.
no idea.
I'm having commitment issues.
She
have to
does
think
have
about
that.
it a little longer.
Well,
And it
she's,
depends on who's wearing it. Like, what, I may be like, oh,
All right.
it looks great on
Tony,
him or her.
Tony Romo, if you'll start wearing that hat.
I'm over him. I think he's had some work done. I'm over him.
Okay.
I'm over him. So I'm moving on.
Sad
Oh,
day.
It is a sad day.
It is a sad day. Not because, never mind. When we come back, our Big Country Electric My Town segment, we highlight the Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame and Al Pickett, the voice, the name most people think when it comes to Abilene sports. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, Tony doesn't look the same anymore. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Sorry, I'm turning 40 on Monday or Sunday.
I thought it was Christ
How
Week.
are you? It is apparently old age ahead. Be careful.
Ryan, there's a invitation with the names, and
Oh,
you guys want to get tickets or cassettes?
Yep, just go right there. That's perfect.
Is 14th earlier than normal?
Yeah, it is, because we couldn't get the convention center on our date. We're at the mercy of, with the hotel, they're getting more conventions now.
Well, and there seems like there's always something.
There is something all the time, and so yes, it is a couple weeks earlier than normal, but that was
I didn't know Mickey Early played for the Oilers.
yeah, he did that briefly, but he
Right.
did, he
He
actually,
fills in for me at Calvary Baptist every once in a while in Rotan.
really, I don't know him.
Of course, I coached at
Roby,
and now I preach in Rotan, and so he fills in every once in a while. So yeah, it's. And of course, I coached against James Washington at Roby. He was a freshman. I'll never forget. Coach Casey. They just won the state championship in football, or maybe hadn't yet. Can't remember if that was a year or not. Anyway, James was a freshman. He could easily be on varsity, but he made him play a little bit on JV before he moved him up. And of course, our Roby kids, we had a JV too. And James is in there dunking it during JV came up, and I'm like, our kids are crapping down their legs.
he was an amazing athlete, wasn't he? It's a great class.
And then Joel Hood was the football coach, athletic director that hired me at Roby.
Did you know Joel had a bad stroke about a month ago?
I did, well, I saw that because Stacy, his wife, and I actually have the same birthday. And she posted, sometime this week that he was back at the track field or
I saw a picture of him with a cane,
Yeah.
but he's doing much better with rehab, but it was apparently a pretty bad stroke.
yeah, he, I guess the only ones I don't know of are Leslie and Callie.
And Callie was a great athlete. Leslie, I don't know.
Is Jim Ann Baker in it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, she was. So
She was a
6'6",
stud.
oh God. And of course, you know who her son is.
Uh-huh.
Bo Haney, who was quarterback leader of the 2 state championships.
Oh, wow.
And then went to TCU to transfer to Oklahoma State.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
All right, we got one more commercial. We got this commercial and we'll be back.
yeah. She married Jesse Haney, who played football at TCU when she was at TCU. And she had 3 boys, but the Bo was a
She was
quarterback
the
here.
first girl that I remember watching that reminded me that played like a guy.
Yeah.
So athletic. Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between, right here on 106.9 The Country John. Here in the Mall of Abilene, our Post Live studio, we normally highlight a local player, coach, or program, and today we highlight a fellow mall occupant and very much Big Country joining us in our Post Live studio. again, we appreciate Big Country Electric Co-op. They have 3 offices, Roby, Snyder, and Stanford. Know they'll be taking care of you. Wind today is not a fan. We're not a fan of it as co-ops or utilities. So we're hoping and praying that the weatherman is wrong, but know that the linemen and the folks at Big Country will be there to take care of their members today and each and every day as they always do. But joining us in studio, again, we talked about it, Josh and I, going back in the day, and there was an award named after the other guy, Bill Hart. But when you think of sports and us growing up, the voice and the writing of Al Pickett kind of brings back a lot of memories. And so, Al, appreciate you being here this morning.
Great to be here. I appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
And so, Al, the Big Country Hall of Fame, when was it established?
Established in 2002. And I say that with an asterisk because actually the AISD started a Hall of Fame in 1988 and 89, and then it disbanded. And so when we started 2002, we incorporated those 10 people who had been inducted, and then so coming up will be our 24th annual banquet.
So but the inaugural induction class was 2002?
Right,
Nice.
yes. It was Sammy Ball, Don Maynard, Gordon Wood, Mindy Myers. It was a pretty impressive class.
Yeah, when you think about the original class and you think about how you start off a Hall of Fame in the Big Country, Gordon Wood and Sammy Ball are some, again, we got a new Rotan guy that is going to be inducted in this class. It's an honor because I know you've talked about it before, and we encourage folks that, again, the Big Country Hall of Fame is here in the mall, but just all the amazing talent that's come from the Big Country.
I think people are amazed. We have a poster of a cutout of Colt McCoy right as you enter. I don't know how many times people come in and go, "Where's he from? I didn't know he was from Jim Ned." I mean, it's just amazing. We have 5 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a 3-time World Series champion, a Masters champion, 6 members of winning Super Bowl teams. The list goes on and on. It's just remarkable who's come out of this area. And now with this class, we've inducted nearly 250 people into the Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame.
How hard is it? We see all the time. I give a hard time about Hall of Fames when people, like as a Cowboy fan, I still to this day, Darren Woodson needs to be in the Hall of Fame. It took Drew Pearson until, thank goodness he was still alive to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so I know it's hard because each year, just like in any other pro world, somebody new gets eligible.
Exactly.
And so trying to be sure you don't miss a window, just how hard is it coming to this year, not counting the special awards, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. How hard is that each year to be sure you get it right and don't miss anybody?
It is very difficult. We have a list. We keep the names who are nominated, and we probably have 150 names of people with potential. Most of them would be great candidates, but you can only, if you had 150, you'd have a banquet go on for 10 hours,
right.
So you can't do that. So we try to have 6 plus our special thing. So when I started this, people said, "Well, aren't you going to run out of names?" Nobody says that anymore. Now it's, well, how about somebody? Well, yeah, they're deserving, but somebody else got the vote. So it's an interesting challenge.
Well, and each year you're seeing a group of kids. I mean, you think about, Albany and Holly that just won 2 state championships in football back to back. You look at, now does Jayden fall into that, or is that too far?
No, we have a 19 county area. Jayden's kind of the end of the line to the north. Oh, yes, they're included in that.
So, well, because Trey Ritchie was inducted a couple years ago. Right. So you see the success of these athletes today. Of course, I think, I'll go ahead and put a plug. To me, there's no way that Baylor Mullins eventually doesn't find a way to get in as a Merkle kid. Ali Zabo, who almost won a state championship at Merkle, great track athlete, and then wins a national championship at LCU. So you keep seeing these athletes, the younger kids, but trying to make sure that the old ones are still around when they get.
That's why we have the Bill Hart Legends Award, to remember those who competed more than 60 years ago.
Right.
So we kind of include them plus the younger ones. So, but it is difficult. I mean, it's absolutely, and it's a fun challenge. And there's always going to be a name that comes out of the blue. The name out of the blue this year is Tex Robertson. I did not know that name at all. Tex Robertson was from Sweetwater, and he was, this is going to blow you away, He was a member of the bronze medal winning Olympic water polo team in 1932, learned to swim in horse troughs, apparently in Sweetwater, and became the first swim coach at the University of Texas, started the swim program at the University of Texas.
Which, for those that don't know, you think of Texas baseball and Texas golf because of Jordan and Scotty and Ben Crenshaw and all those guys. But the Texas swim team is probably the most successful programs on campus.
And he also started Camp Longhorn that's still being run by his sons and grandsons. That is probably teaches about 6,000 kids a year at Inks Lake at 3 locations how to swim. So it's an amazing story that we got nominated. We're going, well, how did I never know about Tex Robertson? But great story.
Well, and let's talk. We'll start with the top of the program that you have. Again, the banquet's coming up on April 14th. We'll tell you a little bit on here in a minute how you can get tickets and table and go. Talk a little bit about Fred Kiffin and how
Fred Niffen was from Clyde, was a state champion, went to Hardin Simmons, played tennis, was in their Hall of Honor, and then went to he was Rose Park, then it was Fair Park Tennis Center, and then went to Tyler Junior College, started a tennis program there, and won 4 national championships at the Texas Tyler Junior College, and spent the rest of his career in Tyler. And really a lot of people who played tennis. Abilene's a tennis town in many ways, and a lot of it can be related to Fred Niffen and to Ike Gross, who are both going in this year. Yeah. Both going in posthumously.
Right, and tennis, you mentioned it is a big deal. You look at the programs here and how busy the tennis courts are. Of course, Wiley known for winning a ton of team tennis and all that, and state champions there. Let's talk about a couple of highlight people that a lot of generations are going to know, and we'll start with James Washington, 2-time state champion there at Stanford, great Biletnikoff winner at Oklahoma State, had a stint in the NFL, unfortunately, hampered by injury, but for the younger people, that's going to be the one like, hey, we know James, and we might even see him in town.
James Washington lives right here in this area right now, moved back here between here and Merkel. James won the Biletnikoff Award as the top receiver in the nation at Oklahoma State, had a 4-year career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and injuries kind of cut his career. People don't remember, but besides leading Stanford to 2 state football championships, he helped lead Stanford to the state finals in basketball, and he played tennis and ran track. Yeah. He was a tremendous athlete for the Bulldogs.
Loves farming and ranching.
Yes, and he's a farmer now.
Yeah. Again, great athlete, great impact. And I guess talk a little bit about some of these other folks and then maybe lead into the banquet. And, of course, we'll end with the Legacy Award.
Real quickly, Callie Corley was a 3-sport athlete at Abilene High, went to TCU to play volleyball. She's our first volleyball player to go in. She's still second all-time in digs at TCU, but she also qualified for the state track meet twice at Abilene High. Leslie Harrison from Stanford, a 6-time world champion in barrel racing. Just very briefly going up. Mickey Early played football, ran track at Rotan, and was all Southwest Conference SMU. Had a brief stint with the Houston Oilers. Sam Harrell. Sam, people may not know that name, but they know his son's name, right. Graham Harrell. And Clark coaches at Wiley now, I think, too, and another son. Sam is battling MS and had to retire this year from Ennis, but won 3 state championships in Ennis. He played quarterback for Gordon Wood at Brownwood. Bill Grissom. Bill was the leading rusher at McMurray as a junior and senior in 63 and 64. Coached all over the big country. Hamlin, Breckenridge, Stanton, Colorado City, Coleman. But maybe best remembered, besides winning 2 state track championships and a great football coach, he was a member of the Bible Club. That's the Brotherhood of Indian Belly Landing Experts, the team that crash landed the plane, and that included Grant Taft and Herschel Kimbrough on that flight. And Bill was one of the survivors on that, and how the world would have been different if they hadn't survived that plane crash. And then the Hood family. I mean, yeah. Abilene was the pole ball capital of the world. Can you believe at one time the 3 leading pole ballers in the world were Moscow, Russia, Abilene, and Merkel?
Right.
Brad Pursley and Billy Olson. All that was because of Don Hood. And then his 3 sons followed him, Joel, Don B., and Derek, into the coaching, and all have had great success. And so they're going in as the Pat Gerald legacy award recipients.
Well, it's very fitting from a Big Country Electric My Town segment, Big Country Electric Co-op, Mickey Early there in Row 10 in Roby, which is where one of the offices is there in Roby. And then Coach Hood, Joel Hood, actually hired me at Roby. He took a chance on me to be the head coach in Roby. And you mentioned the impact, of course, Brad and me growing up in Murville, Miss Persley, being around Brad and Britt and all those guys. The national championships at the Hood that Don brought to ACU, and it was definitely track was known. There's a reason. There's probably still, when Britt teaches pole vault today, he's teaching something that Don Hood taught.
Well, there's still the Don Hood world-class pole vault camps that the Sons are continuing. Don won, of course, going in posthumously, won 9 NAIA or NCAA Division II national championships in 11 years at ACU. Don D won 4. Derek coached the cross-country team to 2 national championships. It's just remarkable. Don D is now the head track coach at Harding University in Arkansas. And so it's pretty remarkable what they accomplished. And certainly the ACU track history began with Bobby Morrow probably and Oliver Jackson. But what a stretch. And realize who the successor was to Don Hood when he retired? Wes Kinley, who's now won 2 national championships in the Hall of Fame at Texas Tech, of course.
Yeah, it's again a great class. So talk a little bit about the banquet coming up April 14th.
It is April 14th, and you can order tickets. They're $75 a piece. This is really our only fundraiser of the year. We try to do that to sponsor the banquet, also run the museum, and we give 12 $1,500 scholarships. So we've now, with this class, we've given nearly $180,000 in college scholarships to the Big Country. You can order tickets online at bigcountryhallofame.org, or you can call the museum at 325-704-1759. Tables of 8 are $1,000, or individual tickets are $75. And we would love to have as many people as possible, because this is a way to support it. And our museum here in the mall, it's open free to the public. So we encourage donations, but it's open free. So that helps sponsor that, because as you know, we still have to pay rent. We still have to pay employees to work in the museum.
Yeah. And so again, it's April 14th at the convention center. It's a Monday, 6:30. You can't make the national championship an excuse, because the basketball March Madness will already be over. The Masters will be over. And so $75 to get you a ticket or a table of 8. And so be sure that you get there. Again, I have a great class going in, and you always do a great job. And so Al, appreciate you coming by and sharing about the banquet, this year's class, and just how much rich sports history has come out of the Big Country. And I'm sure there's another Hall of Famer playing out there this weekend. Hopefully not playing baseball today. If they are, I hope they're hitting downwind.
I talked to a softball coach yesterday, and we texted back and forth in the Big Country. I said, I hope you don't have a game tomorrow, because it'd be a little bit of a challenge. And I do have a friend who had a son playing golf in Wiley. They have a golf tournament scheduled today. I don't know if it's still going to happen or not, but that won't be a whole lot of fun.
Well, better hit it low, or when you got downwind, give it all you got. But anyway, Al, appreciate you coming in again. The Big Country Hall of Fame here in the Mall of Abilene. Check it out. A lot of stuff. Yes, and you too can find out that Colt McCoy did graduate from Gymnat High School. So appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the birthday girl and see what kind of questions she's got.
I don't know the electric cooperative would do it. If that would buy a table or a ticket.
Well, our problem is we don't have it budgeted this year, but I don't have anything. I'm back. I don't know if we can buy a table, but I'm gonna go.
Keep that, and
Okay.
like I say, you can go down the mall and down to the museum and buy a ticket, or do it online or whatever. So
yeah, because I coached against James Washington,
Let's take a quick
Mickey
selfie.
Early. I know, being there for the Hoods.
yeah, so you would find it a good one. So
Yeah.
The bank has a table.
Oh yeah.
Who does?
First Bank of Trust.
Yes, they're one of our sponsors. They're I think one of our videos.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick
Yeah,
pic.
we get this wet sign.
I I thought it was a crime scene.
It kind of is.
If they get in here, I will take a picture of the Misty will post there.
Yep.
It's going the wrong way. All right.
And we'll get it, we'll post the information.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
Misty will post where to get tickets. and all
Yes.
that, so.
He was 40 and I was 40, about 40 years.
Good to see you.
Bye,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
I still can't get over this massage room.
It's very funny. Yeah, I went in there and it was dead. I refreshed it before the interview, but I don't know how long it wasn't running when I walked in there. It was not running.
We haven't had that issue in weeks.
Okay. That's cute, the picture. I am still just laughing about these hats and what you
It's
shared
very
with me. Oh, it's just so bad.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack. It is almost Misty's birthday. We are rocking and rolling here. We appreciate Al Pickett joining us this morning. But it is time, again, we'll get the information where you can get tickets. Great class of the Hall of Fame this year coming into Big Country Hall of Fame class of 2025. So you'll check that out. But now it is time for Misty's bag.
that was extra loud.
It was extra loud. I
That
had to turn it
was
down.
extra loud. I love it. It's still my favorite intro. Yes, speaking of Mulligan, so tomorrow they are serving their brunch. You know, they started this like I think a month ago, and this is the second time. And so they have a classic breakfast, chicken and waffles, breakfast burrito, biscuits and gravy, some brunch bevies, $1 mimosas, $2 screwdrivers, $5 Bloody Marys, all the things. So that is from 10 to 1. So they extended the hours so that more people can go. It was excellent the last time I went. I will be there tomorrow with some girlfriends having a little gal pal brunch. So don't show up and, you know, because you're not invited because it's only for girls.
Say that again?
You can sit at a different table, just not with me.
That's interesting. You got like the preemptive invite. I did it like.
I love y'all, but you cannot sit with me tomorrow.
It's all
If
fun.
I show up, I'm going to heckle the crud.
Yeah,
Please do.
yeah, you need to hope and pray weather's nice so I can golf tomorrow, because if not, I will be all over that gal brunch.
Gal pal.
Gal pal
It may
brunch.
come in and bobbing and weaving like I'm one of your gals.
Please do. And also,
Well, I mean, you never know.
I mean,
Hodge could.
Do that.
he could. Also, on their Facebook page, they've dropped their artist lineup through August. And so they've got a lot of great artists lined up for the spring and summer. So you can check that out. Their sets, acoustic sets from 8 to 10 on those dates. And also, don't sleep on the patio. I feel like I was just having a conversation with a coworker.
You can't go to sleep on the patio.
I mean,
Well,
I'm sure it's happened before.
What if it's nice out?
Yeah. Don't forget, they have an amazing patio at Mulligan's that you can host any type of shower or birthday party, all of the things. And so don't forget that they have that to offer at Mulligan's as well. Okay, here is the question this week. You're being sold as an action figure. What 2 accessories do you come with?
Say that again. I was reading a funny text that will be read in a moment.
You're being sold as an action figure. What 2 accessories do you come with?
Well, again, it's funny. I was talking to somebody yesterday about how long we've been doing this show and how we got to where we are. How Josh came on board, you came on board, and all this. And it's come to the point that, unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it, I feel like I know y'all well. And so
You're welcome.
That is unfortunate.
Well, I mean that.
We are a series of unfortunate events.
No, I mean,
Like, how did my life end up in this toilet bowl?
No, stay with me. What I meant by that is, I don't want to freak y'all out that I know this, but I know I can answer one for Josh. He will have Chinese stars.
Ninja stars, yeah.
He will have ninja sewing stars as part of his action figures.
I forgot about that.
That if you don't pick them up, you will step on them as a parent and be ticked off. So action figure, and what accessories do I come with?
2. Only 2.
Only 2, huh?
You have
2
to be
accessories.
strategic about this.
Well, I'm not going to take ninja stars because Josh is already going to have this probably with
That would
his.
be a terrible action figure accessory because.
Well, they wouldn't be real.
Well, I know, but they'd still be small and like get in the carpet and you'd step on it.
Well, it just depends on how big the action figure is.
Well, I guess so.
They could be.
Maybe you just like.
I mean, life-size action
Oh, well,
figure.
We've already fought a big baby
We're
and
just
a
going
large
to dip
duck.
you in
Yeah,
green.
We've already fought a big duck and a baby duck or something like that a
Okay.
few years ago.
Just like Legos are terrible to step on, the backpacks that the G.I. Joe men came with back in the day were also very terrible to step on. Yeah, I've done that.
So I think if I was an action figure, I would want my accessories to be not easily lost.
Well, right.
Because if it's a little gun thing or even ninja star or bow and arrow, there's a chance that it may not always be with me when that time comes to fight the enemy.
Yes.
And so I need
It's at
that.
the bottom of the toy box.
Yes.
You can't find it.
And I'm sitting there going, oh no, here comes Josh with his China ninja stars. What do I do? And then boom, I'm done. So I would want a car.
Okay.
That's an accessory.
No, you're right.
I would want a car that I could easily
That's
a getaway car.
get away, and it can fly, just for the record. It is.
Wow.
It is very Jetson-like.
Okay, we love it.
And so that would be accessory number 1. Accessory number 2 would be a sidekick that could kick anybody's butt that I didn't get to do.
So another person. His accessory is another person.
There you go. I'm done. I got somebody riding in my car with me.
I mean, that's kind of smart.
Yeah,
Like, I'm kind of
well,
shocked
that
by
was-
his
That
response.
was well thought out.
Yeah.
Here, let me give you the rest of my other things I thought I had. No, anyway, hey, tell you what, Josh, hold that. We're going to kick off hour number 2 with some legal ID, and then we'll give the suspense for the folks. It is. We are kicking off hour number 2, 8 o'clock, top of the hour. Hopefully the wind has not done anything yet. But Misty's back from Mulligan's again. A lot going on. I need to touch base with Kyle. I got a text. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be in the golf league or if I'm still an alternate. Don't know about that. But Misty is thrown out. If you were a sports action figure, what would your accessories be? And I've got a cool car that will go really fast and fly when need to. And my other accessory is a sidekick that is a lot cooler than Robin, for the record.
All right. Well, I don't know.
I gave you plenty of time.
Well, you did. I know exactly what I was just thinking. I was trying to picture what your car would look like, and it really kind of derailed me. As an action figure, I'm going to need something that shoots, that has an actual projectile. You mentioned ninja stars. Maybe if you had some sort of like your arm action thing that would throw it, that would work. Maybe a rocket launcher that shoots a little plastic rocket. You load it up there, push the button, and it shoots. Something along those lines.
So you're trying to do like major damage.
But you could take out people with
like
shooting ninja stars. But I think the benefit of a shooting ninja star, if it were to miss, you could still pick it up and still throw it.
Yeah.
True.
You're welcome, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, because I just did.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually pretty good.
A ninja star launcher. That's what I'm going with.
Actually, yeah.
You shoot it and it shoots out. Because I had several action figures that had some sort of like thing that would shoot, that was always more fun. Of course, you always lost all the ammunition for said thing, and then it was useless. But until I lose all my ninja stars, my ninja star launcher will be one of my accessories. The other
should be a factory that makes the ninja stars.
It's an unlimited supply of ninja stars. My other is a parachute.
Oh, yeah.
Those are fun.
You throw the action figure in the air and then it parachutes back down, usually not very well because it somehow gets tangled up, but
real life.
Yeah, I need a ninja star launcher and a parachute.
Man, I haven't really, I've thought about this question, but I was going more like a cell phone so I could call someone to like bail me out, and
You're getting arrested?
like a purse.
You are now a Barbie, not a action figure.
Action figure. Let me think about this. I agree with Josh. I think I want something that shoots, but I think I want something that shoots. It's like a big ball and it has like spikes that are all over it. Like It would really hurt. Like it would stick in your skin.
Ouch.
And like you're going down.
You really want to do damage. So you remember the squeezy balls that looked like that had little.
Yes, with the hair.
Yeah.
Yes, but these would be spikes. So some sort of gun like a pistol. I want a pistol that shoots these little spikes out. And then I think I want a bodyguard with me, just in case.
Like a large.
Yeah, like I want like The Rock with me.
Okay.
So he's with me. So a spike gun, and then for when that runs out, I'll have The Rock with me so he can fight off the rest of the bad guys.
See, what you don't know is on my car actually has guns that shoot ninja stars.
Oh, more accessories. Here we go.
Well, it's the same accessory. It's just fully loaded with ninja stars shooting things and spikes.
The car is good, but I still would like a cell phone if, we could get another one.
For the record, I put OnStar onto my phone.
Oh, of course you did.
The car has OnStar, and I'm able to talk back to my people, and it even has a locator, like Find My iPhone. I can find my buddies.
Would y'all be like the hunter green? Like if you were dipped hunting, I think I'd want to be like hot pink. My action figure needs to be hot pink, obviously.
Right.
What color would you want to be?
Well,
like white, or that's boring.
No,
you gotta
black,
pick a color.
It could be like just black.
Ooh, yeah, black is tough.
Black with whatever logo
You're
I
wearing
come
like
up
a
with.
mask or
Oh no, I'll let everybody know I'm here.
Okay.
I'll let them know it's me. It's no big deal.
Just like some black spandex suit.
No.
Like a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just
A
picturing Hodge in a wetsuit.
No, and I would not need a cape because my car is going to fly, so I don't need the cape.
So you're just going like, here's my face,
Well, I
and
mean,
then
you
black
didn't-
clothing?
No, no.
Like black spandex?
No, just the car's black. I can just wear whatever.
Oh, you're just like wearing your PGA, like you're going golfing later
Yeah,
after
his
you beat him
players
up?
hat.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the Clark Kent, but then when I get in the car, flip the switch.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, what color would you be dipped in?
I mean, I guess just real basic army green would work. I mean, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. Maybe,
Did you come up with this?
I did. I mean, are y'all surprised?
I am a little bit.
It's so weird. Y'all
now-
should have known I came up with it.
I gotta ask this question that one of our favorite listeners, Corey, she said, how many more birthdays till you have to change it to Golden Girls brunch?
Oh my gosh. Actually,
Wow.
I think I've got like 10 years or 20 years.
20.
Go, I think like 60.
She has till Monday the next one.
Yeah. Well,
The next one.
I love the Golden Girls.
gal pals.
Yes.
Gal Pals brunch. What time?
She's not telling you.
At 10:30, show up and come and have girly brunch with us. No, for real. Y'all should really try it. Like, it's so good. I'm
Yeah, so
excited. I'm
check out
so
the brunch.
excited.
Again, Mulligan's, check out their lineup that's coming up. Kyle and them do a great job. Go play some golf, go eat some food. March Madness is coming up. Great place to watch some games that'll be here before you know it. When we come back, the NFL, again, we say it all the time, it never leaves season, it just leaves the field. The Dallas Cowboys are making some moves. The Dallas Cowboys are complaining. Shocker, and it is not Jerry Jones that's talking. But I'm going to tell you, I think it's starting to be very similar to Jerry Jones. And will we have a Super Bowl MVP in this receiving corps for the Cowboys? When we come back, we'll look at the NFL and what's happening around the world. We'll be back.
I
Y'all, you hear
liked
those
that
little
question.
shades back that,
That's what I want to talk about.
okay.
I don't
That's,
know.
okay, that's your,
I liked that question
yeah, that's fine.
because it was just so random.
Very random.
But that's what we want.
Nerds.
How cute would we look though as little action figures?
It'd be fun.
I mean, I know we can get bobbleheads, but can we get little action figures of ourselves? That could be super cute.
I think you're right.
We still need our bobbleheads. I want one for my office. I really thought Baylor was going to win last night.
Yeah,
Like, I got nervous
I got excited.
because that last shot, it was not far off the mark. Like, it
No,
had potential.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't like he just totally, I mean, it was in the vicinity, but just a little bit too much. But I was like, oh my gosh.
Are you lunching today?
I suppose so. Oh. I got really tired.
It's that biscuit.
Yeah.
The carbs are draining you.
What?
He said he got tired all of a sudden. I was like, it's the biscuit. I'm gonna go check that thing. Hopefully it got the action figure one.
Honestly, it's the time change. I like
It doesn't bother me.
No. I like it. I like it a lot. But I've been staying up too late
Same.
because I don't feel like it's time to go to bed when it's like bedtime.
Can I see
So-
that invite that Al gave you? Did he give you an invitation? I want to take a picture of it. That'll be the easiest way.
I don't think it has the stuff on it.
Oh. Oh, this is more just like, okay. The agenda.
Can I see it when you're done?
You can see it.
Are y'all gonna go? Are you going?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably.
Hodge, you did so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I'll be at Mulligan's like all day tomorrow.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm gonna go home for a break before the evening, but
No, you don't.
I wouldn't be able to hang if I got there at 10:30. I'm so excited about March Madness. It's so
I am
fun.
too.
So fun.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack as we're rocking and rolling in hour number 2. Lots going on. We're glad that you're with us. Again, Hodge Pack, Sports Live, and everything in between. If you missed our conversation with Al Pickett or any of our action figure examples that you may be able to see around Christmas time by the Hodge Pack car and cool sidekick along with Josh's fun little Ninja Star gun and Misty's pink cell phone and spike gun thing. You can get those. But be sure you download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. You can get it at all your spots where you get a podcast. Now, Misty, before we talk about football and the Cowboys situation, the struggle, now I asked her, again, Misty's turning 40 on Sunday. She's got the happy birthday. She needs to wear the glasses more. We'll probably get that going.
Here.
But I asked your husband, what is your favorite candy? He said Tootsie Pops, and especially red ones. So we got you some Tootsie Pops.
Oh, I do love a good sucker.
Yeah, so there's some red ones in there. So,
Yay.
what makes you most nervous about being 40?
Oh gosh. I think just the realization again that like my life is halfway over.
Yeah. I don't think Josh can take you seriously.
No.
Yeah.
But what's funny is like the O is fine, but like the 4 looks like somebody slapped her on the left side or her right side, my left.
That kind of looks like a superhero mask.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for my action
Yeah,
figure.
it is. You could. It is your action figure, or it could be a hat for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, true.
So you can figure that out. So
These are so cute.
Major League Baseball is rocking and rolling, but NFL is happening right now. NFL free agency started off Monday, and it started with a bang. Started off well. The Cowboys making a few moves. One that they did not make that I thought they would. Rico Dowdle is not going to be a Cowboy. He is heading to Carolina, of all places. You definitely go there for the money, not to win. And so they signed Javonte Williams from Dallas. Javonte Williams, not bad. Kind of a still young guy. Only 25 years old, second round draft pick out of on the 21 draft. And so hopefully he'll be somebody that we can help. The other thing that happened this week, let's talk the quarterback situation first. Because we got some Cowboy news I want to get to. Sam Darnold, no longer at Minnesota. He's heading to Seattle. Geno is with the Raiders. Justin Fields went to the Jets, and then we still don't know where Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers are going to land. So that's the big talk there. What's funny is where Aaron Rodgers wants to play is Minnesota, and they're trying to figure out if that's going to work. They haven't made that decision. But if he goes to Minnesota, will that be the weirdest thing ever? He will literally follow the Brett Favre path. Packers, Jets, Vikings. I think it's wild. I think the Vikings need a quarterback because you still don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. He's coming off injured. I think you ought to sign Aaron Rodgers. I think you ought to sign a veteran quarterback. I heard somebody say earlier that Kirk Cousins ought to go back there. What's your thoughts on these? And Russell Wilson is another one. Went and spent 5 hours with the Browns yesterday. It's crazy that the market of these quarterbacks, and nobody's just saying, even though I need a quarterback, the Browns need a quarterback, the Giants need a quarterback, the Steelers need a quarterback, that nobody's just jumping saying, please come here, rolling out the red carpet.
Aaron needs to go to the couch. But you already know how I feel about that.
I don't think there's any way he will, and I don't think he wants to go out the way he has his last 2 seasons.
I know he doesn't, but can he redeem that at all?
Yeah, that's the question. After the last couple of years, I'm like, ooh.
Now, if he goes to the Vikings, you've got a pretty loaded roster. Sam Darnold, who I would still think, even though he's younger, but I guess you would say last year, Sam Darnold obviously outperformed Aaron Rodgers. If it was your choice today, not you, because I know your answer, would you take Sam Darnold back there, or would you take Aaron Rodgers?
That's a tough one, because all year we talked about Sam Darnold was going to turn back to a pumpkin, and he did.
But Aaron is a pumpkin right now.
Yeah.
So really, to me, that's a level playing field. When we were talking about the last 2 years of Aaron Rodgers.
So would you take the pumpkin?
I think I'd go with Darnold, because at least I see what the pumpkin did this most recent season. I mean, that's better than what Aaron's done. So if it was me, I think I'd roll with Darnold. He's already got the chemistry with the team. I'd keep him. But
2 years of
nothing.
Yeah, like.
And I wonder, and we talk about, we're going to lead into culture in a minute. And maybe he was a culture problem in New York. But the Jets is a place that has been a struggle for a long time. Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year, kind of a quarterback whisperer, offensive genius guy. Would he be the big fit? Because to me, the hardest part for Aaron Rodgers is going into the situation and not making it about him. If he could just go in and be the quarterback.
But he can't do that.
And just say, hey, guys, I got Justin Jefferson, as good of a receiver as I had since Devontae Adams. And I've got TJ Hawkinson, who's a great tight end. I'm in a division. I think we can compete. All the things would be in his favor. If he could just relax and humble himself a little bit, I think it would be a great fit. I think the Steelers would be a great fit. He'd have DK Metcalf, George Pickens. There's so much things. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Of course, the other one, the big news is Devontae Adams just went to the Rams. I think they're going to be really good next year. I think the Rams are going to be really, really sneaky good. And then it'll be interesting to go there. So let's shift to the Dallas Cowboys. We mentioned a little bit they signed Javonte Williams, Broncos running back. Miles Sanders looks like he's coming as another older guy. He's one of those that you picked up in your fantasy football draft much later in the rounds, but would help you a little bit. But I still think we need a second receiver. This morning, Adam Schefter dropped that there is now interest in a sleeper team for Cooper Kupp, and it is the Dallas Cowboys. I would take Cooper Kupp. We need another receiver. Brandon Cooks is going to go somewhere else. We need a second receiver. I hope Jerry finds a way. We've restructured these contracts. I hope he finds a way to get Cooper Kupp on the dotted line.
That would definitely interest me. I felt like when they announced that those contracts were restructured and they made all this cap room by doing so, which I don't understand at all, but whatever. I thought, all right, well, they're planning some kind of big splash, because they freed up money to, go get somebody. And then, I've been happy with the signings that the Cowboys have done. They've got some role players in positions that they needed and some things like that. But none of it has been something that truly was
all in.
Needle moving, so.
But at least they're doing something. That's more than what they did
really,
last year.
Selectively aggressive is pretty much accurate. I think they've been more selectively than aggressive.
Same.
But they are making some moves and at least look like they're being active. Because the hard thing is, Deebo Samuel's going to Washington. They're kind of reloading. Philadelphia's adding. We still need some offensive linemen. Every time I see, and I think they signed a Solomon Thomas defensive tackle from the Jets. Every time and he's a Texas guy, but every time I see this big guy that is in the Twitter picture, I look and say, please be a lineman that's going to Dallas. Please be a lineman that's going to Dallas. Because I do think that we're closer. Are we closer to a rebuild than we are a championship?
Well, yes, probably. Realistically, but there's still a lot of core talent on the team, so, and people that you've paid money to be here for a while, so it's like, I don't think you can just switch into rebuild mode without, well, I mean, I don't know, they're the Cowboys.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. And so one of the other pieces that have left Dallas as of this week is DeMarcus Lawrence. D'Lo has been one of those guys that's been great to watch. He's been a very impactful player, but he is heading to Seattle. And he made a comment that made a little comment about why he was leaving, all those things. And this is basically what he said. Let me read this, and then I want to play you a deal back from Unsportsmanlike, what their thoughts on it. This is DeMarcus Lawrence via Hawk Blogger. Quote, Dallas is my home, but I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there, end quote, which followed up when I mentioned earlier that drama was coming. It was from Micah Parsons. This is what rejection and envy look like. This clown explicit with a clown face, end quote. Or this is some clown S, end quote. And that's from Micah Parsons in response to DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence followed up with, calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. And again, that's DeMarcus Lawrence's response. This is what Michelle Smallman had to say on Unsportsmanlike.
Or to not be a headline. So I am never going to admonish somebody in sports for speaking their truth, because that's what we want, right? And when it comes to Travis Lawrence, what is wrong about what he said? Do we think the Dallas Cowboys are close to winning a title? Do we think as long as Jerry Jones is running things the way that he's running them now, that they're going to win a title? We talk about it all the time. So why would it be?
So who's right, who's wrong? As Michelle said, again, Michelle Smallman with Unsportsmanlike, you can catch them on from our time. It's 5 to 9 Central. Talking about that, who's right, who's wrong? DeMarcus Lawrence is just making a point. He left, went to a new place. Now, I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl in Seattle either.
Agreed.
But if you're going, it's very similar to Rico Dowdle. If you're going to go to where you're going to get paid, you might as well go and get paid to play football, even if both aren't going to win you a title. Who's in the wrong and who's in the right there?
I mean, I agree.
Who's telling the truth, I guess?
I mean, I agree with, I think that Lawrence is telling the truth. I don't think they're close to a title. So, and who knows? I mean, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. If that was played out or scripted or whatever, we have no idea what goes on between those guys. So I don't think he was wrong to say that. So well, I don't have a problem with it.
I kind of have a problem with it. Well, first of all, it is very, very okay to say, I came here to win, like, I feel like this team has a chance to win it all. I want to be a part of that, like, yada, yada, yada. Like, you can say that without just throwing complete shade on your former organization. Like, you can be...
you can be tactful with it.
Right. And so taking the shot, instead of just saying, I came here because I feel like this team really has a chance to win. They sold me on their vision, all of that. It's still somewhat, kind of underhand taking a shot, but at the same time, it's not just overt. So being so overt about it is the part that I would have a problem with. I don't think that he's wrong, but it's still like, you can handle it tactfully. So then Micah Parsons firing back, I'm all in for that. Like, he's defending his team. He doesn't want to just give up on thinking that they have a chance to win, and that's what you want from your players.
But in the same way that you said, DeMarcus Lawrence the right response should have been, hey, I'm glad to be here. I think it's a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm looking forward to the challenge, change, all that. Saying it that way would be better than the way he said it. Is what, to me, Micah.
Yeah, Micah started it with the little, with the, is he the one that said the clown,
Yeah,
whatever?
he
took
said
that
your
shot.
envy
Right,
is a bunch of it's some clown food.
right, yeah,
So in that, to me, Micah should have responded differently.
right. He kind
Or-
of put fuel on the fire.
Or should not have said anything at all.
Right.
Well, he
But-
probably shouldn't have said anything at all, but, and he does have to Lawrence's point, Micah does have a habit of kind of going off the rails
Mhm.
on social media, and, I don't necessarily think that makes him less of a player or less concerned about winning, but that's his way. And obviously, I think that sets some underscore to the fact that maybe his amount of social media presence was not appreciated by at least somebody else in the locker room.
Well, and
Yes.
I put this, I sent this tweet out yesterday on our Hodge Pack Twitter feed. Feel free to follow us on Twitter, Hodge Pack Sports. I put, is Micah Jones, is Micah Parsons becoming a Jerry Jones on the field where he cares more about his brand and money
Mhm.
than he does winning? Because that's attention. And we've seen him post stuff on his Twitter feed and on his podcast that draws a lot of attention to him and complaining and all these things. And I've heard people say, we need to see more production on the field than you do. It's okay that Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce had a podcast that grew. Both of them were winning Super Bowls. Both of them were producing. Both of them were making things happen. Micah, to me, has still got to be that leader that says, hey, I'm going to be the reason why we're good. And right now, I don't think he's that case. Yes, he was injured a lot this year, but I don't think he's the reason that Dallas is good. And so it's almost like he's become the Jerry Jones on the field. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers yet. But if you think about it, Aaron Rodgers every Tuesday appears on the Pat McAfee show. And through that, we found out his darkness retreat, his eating habits, his diet, all these things. And when that kind of started, maybe we can do that. Grok on Twitter, the new AI deal, maybe Grok could tell us on Twitter. But I'd be curious to know, going back to that time when all that started taking place, and I like Pat McAfee, I don't have a problem with that. But when things off the field became more important than the things on the field for Aaron Rodgers, is that when the spiral started? For Micah Parsons, will that be the same case? He needs a contract extension that's coming up as well. Will Dallas sign it? The thing that came out this week that makes that even more complicated is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, a few weeks ago, get me out of Cleveland, trade me to a contender. They get together. Now he's making $40 million a year, the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. How much is Micah going to be worth? So I'm hoping Micah can find a way to channel that energy to the field, make everybody better so that Dallas can. Because again, you're in third place, and the only reason you're not in fourth in your own division is because the Giants are terrible. And Danny DeVito's cousin from Jersey Mike's is the one that's playing quarterback. If the season started today, Tony DeVito is the quarterback, not Russell Wilson, not Daniel Jones, none of them. And so Dallas has got to figure that out. Do you have anything else to add to that before I run through things?
No.
I think, yeah, you nailed it. It definitely exposed some drama that.
Well, I think it's a culture thing.
It is, but
Yeah, that's what my
it
first thought was.
exposed there
There was at least,
there's something there.
Lawrence at least had some problem with Parsons before he left.
And obviously Parsons didn't, because again, you didn't have to respond, or you could have done it a different way if that's your buddy or whatever. And so to me, it just exposes that, okay, maybe they didn't have the best relationship.
Well, and it goes back to they've got to figure some stuff out. Couple things, other highlights of the Cowboys. They did re-sign Kevontae Turpin. I think that's a big deal, making sure he's still on board. I mentioned the Javonte Williams, Rob Jones, a couple other folks they added. We've mentioned DeMarcus Lawrence, Rico Dowell, Jordan Lewis leaving. I think is another big loss as well. So there'll be more happening, all those things. But it is March 14th, which means this is the last weekend before brackets get set, brackets get ready. We'll talk about conference championships. We'll talk about the excitement of March Madness. And we'll talk about what is the most fun and most addicting way to game. Don't like using the other G word. We'll be back, right after
This is so great that Tootsie Pops.
Now,
I just recently got back into these.
let's read that back on the top.
But like literally, I eat one almost every day. Almost every day. Maybe we need upside down Hodge Pack hats.
Upside down.
It could just say Hodge Pack upside down. Would it be cute? I mean, would it be cute?
Yes.
Yes.
Upside down.
We've got to be trendy.
The word upside down?
Yeah. Hodge Pack upside down. Just a little.
She's not catching what I'm saying.
No, what just
I said
happened?
the Hodge Pack, you said the Hodge Pack upside down. I said the word upside down also. Explain, Joe.
I don't know. I'm so lost. The word upside down. What is he saying? I'm talking about Hodge Pack upside down. The Hodge Pack upside down? Literally, I have no freaking clue what y'all are saying right now. The Hodge Pack upside down. What is so funny?
No, it's just funny because you just keep saying it.
I don't even know what y'all are saying. Whatever. I'm obviously not getting it. I don't even know what's so funny.
The fact that you just say the same stuff, the same thing over and over and over again is what's funny to me.
Gosh. Oh,
I am incredibly sore.
did you work out?
I played football.
Oh. You know better than that.
No, I just wanted to play.
Aw. Have you gotten your little baseball team for the boys?
Oh, yeah, we got.
Are they always on the same team?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. Are you coaching?
Yes.
Oh, good. What are y'all?
The Bears.
Oh, that's right, the Bears. Yeah.
She saw this mystery.
No, I literally,
No.
he lauged and I'm like, I don't know what's so
What's
funny.
funny, Josh, is I feel like we just invented our own who's on first.
I know.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Who's on first?
What's on second?
What? I don't even know what's happening right now.
Oh, this is so funny.
Literally have no clue what y'all are saying to me.
We're coming back. I think I can get this.
I gotta get a little like stretching. Ugh. I need to go to Stretchworks. Or I need a massage. I need something.
I think you're letting your age play with your mind.
No.
That's what I think.
Maybe, but
I think you're letting your.
this is so stinking cute though. Like, so Megan drew me for work.
Feel free to take that to your office today.
Okay, I will. She may want it. But she was like, I'm gonna try to find a wheelchair. I said, go for it. As long as you wheel me into the boardroom, I'm good with that.
Have a board meeting today?
No, we're doing so we draw names at CFA, and then whoever draws you has to get you like a cake or breakfast or something.
For birthday?
For birthday. So, but we're celebrating mine on Monday afternoon because today we're going to be kind of a short crew, few people out for spring break. And so, yeah, I was like, oh Lord, there's no telling what Megan's going to come up with. But yeah, actually, I'm going to take this tape and stuff too. This can be, I can repurpose this.
Oh,
I'll just leave it at my office for when we have some
I've
big.
got 3 years till I turn 50.
Yeah,
So
I'll get you back in 3 years. Because we've got some people that'll be turning 50 before too long. So.
I know one.
Uh-huh.
Is she turning? I
No.
think she turns 49.
I think next year. Yeah.
I think Katie turns 40.
Yes, I think next year. She hits 20 years at CFA this year. Isn't that incredible? Like, so great.
What am I looking for?
We're back.
It is time for the Hodge Pack. We are rocking and rolling. Hour number 2, getting ready to head you into the weekend. We're glad that you're with us again. Download, subscribe, rate, review the podcast. A couple things I want to remind you about. Potosi Live tonight. Rich Trevino is going to be there. If you have looking for something to do, get some tickets. They also have Paul Wall coming April 5th. And on April 12th, they have their Crawfish Jam Eli Young Band. Get your tickets for that for Potosi Live. Get those taken care of. Rich Trevino tonight, always.
Shout out to Potosi Lab because they are always bringing great entertainment. Like,
Yeah.
I just really appreciate all the hard work that their staff does and bringing so much fun to the big country. It's incredible.
Yeah, they do a really good job. Now, we were at break, and before we get into March Madness, Josh and I, so you've never heard the Who's on First skit from?
No, like when you're like, you're on first or whatever you said, I was like, what does that even mean?
Who's on first, what's on second? All
I
right,
don't know what that means.
so Misty brought up the fact that she would like us to maybe, we were talking about trends and all these things, and well, we actually drifted off from the terrible hats or the great hats, depending on how you look at them, that Major League Baseball came out with. And Misty brought up the upside down hats. Of course, Dak was wearing the Dallas one, and now everybody's put everything.
And like, he looks so cute when he wears it, so, you know.
Because unfortunately, he's been wearing that way more than his helmet.
I mean, yeah, I'd rather him be in the helmet and doing productive things, but.
So Misty brought up about possibly getting some upside down Hodge Pack hats.
Hodge Pack upside down.
Yeah, so say it again, what you thought we should do.
Literally, I don't even know what I said.
All
I
right, go
said, we should get some Hodge Pack upside down hats.
Right.
Is that what I said?
I think, and I said, so Hodge Pack upside down?
Yes, and I said, yes, Hodge Pack
Right,
upside
say
down.
that, Hodge Pack upside down?
Hodge Pack upside down.
And so,
What is so funny about it? Like, I don't know.
I'm asking you, do you think we should get,
Yes, I think we should get Hodge Pack upside down hats.
so Hodge Pack with upside down?
Yeah, Hodge Pack upside down hat. I hate you guys. I don't even know what that
Here,
means.
put your glasses on, I think you can see that. What I'm trying to say is, I'm asking you, and I gave you, hey,
Very literal.
and I gave you a chance to explain why I went
I
and
didn't
got a
want to
beverage.
explain, I wanted her
And
to
then,
say-
and y'all are like, you're on first. And I'm like, cool, I made it to first
you're
base.
not. Who's on first?
Who's on first?
What's on second?
Oh no.
No. Who's on third?
What is this
I
even
can't believe she's
conversation?
never seen that. That's like,
Hey, so-
and like, you can actually pull the trick on her because she has not seen it.
I can't stand y'all.
So what's on first? Who's on second? I don't know who's on third, right?
I don't know.
I can't remember who's on shortstop.
Yeah,
No,
Is
no,
this
no,
like an
no, no.
SNL
Who's
thing?
on first? Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it is fantastic. That will be you will be watching that.
Is this like an SNL skit?
No,
No, it's the
older.
Oh, well, obviously I don't know because it's so old.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I bet. Anyway, you get ready. My dad's probably gonna give you a hard time for this. But
I have no
so
clue.
what I was asking you is, do you think we should get Hodge Pack upside down hats? You
Yes.
said yes.
Yes,
And then I followed up Hodge Pack with upside down.
yes, no, they need to be
So,
upside down.
all right, so
Like, that's
I don't
the
know.
trend.
All right, I don't know if I could do it. Josh, give me your paper.
That is the trend.
All right, Josh.
I'm ordering
some water
these.
on that paper.
They're gonna
Okay.
look so cute.
Josh, talk about a little bit of March Madness for a second.
Well, you're writing upside down. Hey, if you're writing upside down, do you write it upside
Yeah,
down?
that's not
Or-
correct.
Or do you flip it over after you write it?
I don't know.
You should write upside down.
I can't stand y'all
Well,
right now.
obviously, we're gonna have to,
A Hodge Pack upside down.
like.
Like, what? That's what I said. That's literally what I
So,
said.
all right, so you think
Are
this-
you saying add the words? Are you
That's
saying?
what he was saying.
That's-
Oh,
And I was like-
I was
Like,
like,
and I was
what?
like, you're not getting this. He's being literal. And you're like,
Oh, I was like, no. Oh my
No, you were
gosh.
saying yes. Yeah, you weren't even yeah, no. Yeah, Hodge Pack upside down. Yes, we should do that. Hodge Pack upside down. And I said, so we should get Hodge Pack with upside down. And you said yes on repeat.
Oh my gosh.
So for those
Okay.
that would like
I
these,
think we probably should do that because that would really accentuate the point that this is upside down.
Yes,
I wonder if we could get that done.
I'm going to.
There you
Just
go.
wait.
So,
And it's gonna be cool.
But
and the fact that you do not know who's on first and what's on second, and I don't know.
No, I don't know what that means, but I think it's like a jab. That's what it feels like.
It's a jab.
It's some sort of
You don't
jab, and I'm gonna look it up and
You're
whatever.
gonna look it up? You have
You're going to look it up and you're going to die rolling. And I want you to do it. And okay, we have a mutual friend. It's your coworker. I've known her forever. Is Megan going to be there today?
Yes, I hope. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, your job, and you must report back either today or we will see you tomorrow
Okay.
on.
At 10:30 for Gal Pals.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, Gal
I can't
Pals.
wait. I can't wait with the Golden Girls.
Can I bring my they have waffles?
Yes,
So I can
chicken
bring
and waffles.
Can I bring peanut butter from my waffles?
Yes,
Okay.
y'all need to come. It's so delish.
So I need you and Megan to watch. One, ask Megan if she's heard it.
Okay.
And I may text her in a minute.
Who's on? I'm gonna ask her. Do you know about who's on first?
Yeah, and what's on second.
Okay, and what's on second?
Yeah.
Are there people?
Oh yeah, they're people.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and ironically, you're gonna watch it and see yourself in that skit. Yes or no, Josh?
Yes, I mean,
Oh
I mean, I just
man.
lived it. I just lived
This
it.
is bad.
I just lived it.
Okay.
We just lived it. So that's your assignment.
Okay.
To do that today.
I'll
If
get
I
with
need
her
to-
when I leave.
If I need to, I'll text Katie. Katie, they need to have about 3 to 4 minutes to watch it. And check that out and report back.
Okay, will do.
So, all right. So, Misty, you mentioned it. I believe it was in the break. I don't know if it was on air or not, but it was in the break that you're excited for March Madness.
Yes.
It is here. March Madness is really it's kind of the change, if you will, of maybe the AED or the rejuvenation of sports. The Super Bowl ends. You're waiting. NBA's trying to make a little noise. Hey, everybody, we're here. We're going to trade Luka because we're idiots. And then March Madness starts coming in. This week, you've got college conference championships. And I'm going to tell you, I've got some buddies of mine and some family in Nashville right now at the SEC tournament, which is where the men's SEC tournament's at. They said it's awesome. You go across the street, hang out, listen to some music, then go back and watch basketball. Ultimate deal. So they're having a good time. But that is happening. The SEC, the Big 12, all that happening right now. And we said it over and over again. We mentioned it a little bit last night. So, Josh, I asked this for Baylor. Misty said, I really thought Baylor was going to win that game last night. Tech holds them off. Tech's got a big matchup today with Arizona. Do you feel like that was the straw that broke the camel's back? Because Baylor, Kansas, there's a number of teams that are normally in the field, in the bracket. What did that do last night to Baylor?
I don't know. I mean, because they've been playing better, and they've been on the bubble, I guess. But a win last night would have definitely put them over the top on that. But they're really a wait and see for me. They have good reputation. Obviously, so does Kansas. So have some good wins. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, Baylor to me last night, I was like, oh my goodness, like they came back from a good deficit and could have won that game. And so if I'm a Baylor fan, that gives me a little bit of hope. Like I thought to come back from that, I don't know. I mean, go Tech, obviously guns up for me. I was happy they won, but I got a little scared there at the end.
As of now, Joel Nardi does have Baylor still in, which is
like most people do, but I'm not just like completely confident that will be the case.
No, and I agree, which now, and I'll just do this real quick. I want to go to standings in the Big 12. How many do we think? Because we think the SEC is going to be very loaded in the tournament. I think it's going to have a ton of teams. We'll get to that in a moment. Houston's obviously going to be, like right now, Lenardi has Houston the number 1 and Tech the number 2 seed, which is huge for Tech. And so Houston, Tech, BYU, Arizona, Iowa State, Kansas, and Baylor. Those, according if Baylor's in, Kansas is going to be in. That's 7 of the Big 12 in the tournament. And I think Houston's obviously loaded. Can Tech make that run? Tech's got to be healthy. Tech cannot do what Grant says is a constant thing for them in the tournament, because you can lose this week and still move on to the tournament. You can't next week. It's over.
Right. And when Tech is shooting the ball well, they're basically unstoppable.
Yeah.
But they seem to go hot and cold, and they seem to do so in every game, which is what happened yesterday. They were otherworldly hot until suddenly they weren't, and Baylor caught back up.
Yeah, and that's what's scary about Tech.
And, but if Tech does keep it together, I think they have deep March run written all over.
I do too. I like Grant McCaslin, great coach. I do. I think there's some excitement there at Tech for them to make a really big run. And
Yes.
so big blow up there, literally.
That was
Brooks and
wild.
Dunn was supposed to play there last night. They had to move their concert to next week, pretty much get everybody on campus. Wild scenario there. But yeah, I think the SEC is going to be so good. I really think there's about 12 to 13 teams left that can win it. Yesterday, the big news was Cooper Flack getting hurt, rolled his ankle, probably will not play today against North Carolina, which it's
Yeah, there's
crazy.
no way he should play today.
No, this does not matter.
Right.
I mean, it matters, but not like the NCAA tournament does. So I would give him off as long as possibly could.
And I'm telling you, if I'm CBS and all the other channels, everybody get ready to go find your true TV and know where it is and all that for next week. If I'm that, I've got to have Cooper Flack in the NCAA tournament. Because if he hurts it and is not playing next week, is not that viewership, is not that go-to, because he's kind of the first guy in a long time that it's not about teams. We can watch a player. Last year, we watched Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, all those things. Now we're watching a guy that is probably going to be the number one pick, is a stud. So he needs to be eligible there. Yesterday, Clemson holds on, beats SMU. The other big one was Texas coming from behind in double overtime to beat A&M, trying to keep Coach Terry's job alive in the hopes of Texas getting in as well. So lots going on. When we come back, we're going to talk about what we think about brackets and all that, which one's more fun, and we'll head you into a hopefully not breezy weekend.
Sunday's supposed to be nice.
I'm going to wrap some of this up
Wrap it up.
so I can bring it to my office. This is seriously so cute. You did good. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah!
It's like a magic trick.
It is. That was fun. It's like a performance. Oh my gosh, that scared me.
Jumped up and got you.
It did. I need like a bag for all of this.
I've got one.
You do?
Sure,
Okay.
you up.
Hodge is just saving the
It's
day.
an upside down bag.
Y'all, I did not, I was like, literally, yes. It's an upside down Hodge Pack. I was like, what is so funny
So you
about
wanted
it?
to say the Hodge Pack upside down? Yes.
I was like, oh.
Hodge got a huge kick out of it. At first, I was like, not as entertained by it, but when you just kept saying it over and over and over.
It got better.
I was so confused. I was like, what is so funny? Gosh, you guys. I'm gonna have to send you one of my cute pictures so you can, because I know sometimes you'll post on Hodges.
Send that. We need to get a photo, honestly, holding the sign in your classes to post too.
Oh, okay, yes. We can do that.
Old age ahead.
I know, so funny. Yeah, I'm taking this to the office because we've got some people that are turning the big 5-0 soon before too long. So I'll be using this at work. This thing is quite long.
That's what she said.
Because I've got to go to Big Country Tunnel after this and take a Abilene Gibbs picture.
Oh.
So, it's there. Hey, Hodge, I need to come to Taylor Electric at some point and get a picture with y'all's crew. So you need to let me know, like, when Emerald and I can stop by. And then what about the mascot? Like, can you get me like a lightning bolt or something
We've got a Willie Wirehand costume.
But like, could somebody come with you to the breakfast and wear it? Because
I'm hoping I can convince my niece to do it.
Because that would be awesome, because we're gonna have a couple, like, Atmos is bringing their critters, like, because it's a pep rally style. So We need that.
Uh,
I would love for y'all to be able to do that the morning of.
would you two have, as soon as it shows up, 5 to 10 minutes or no?
I've got to go to Big Country Title. I'm meeting Emerald at 9:15. So, I mean, I've got like a couple minutes, but then I got to book it because we're taking a picture for their sponsorship.
What did you do? Run something by y'all.
But yeah, I mean, you can start it. And you said you have a bag. I can have that bag on the counter for all my goodies.
No offense, I bought the peanut butter Reese's.
Good for you. I'm not a big peanut butter fan.
Good.
More for
I
me.
am. Well, no, they were off for me, but
That's where you're wrong. I did not buy them.
Good. I didn't want them anyway.
oh, you're jealous.
I'm just gonna stand and roll this.
You're very diligent. I would have just wadded that up.
I am, yeah. Well, I'm
Are
gonna.
you OCD?
I'm gonna no, but I'm gonna repurpose it.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack Sports Live and everything in between as we get ready to head into the weekend. Again, the Players Championship happening in Ponte Vedra Beach. CJ Spawn early out 200, making him 8 under for the tournament. Rory making a move, and if you can, we need to pray that Hideki Matsuyama makes the cut and makes a run today. And of course, love to see Tom Kim make a run. Paul's the story of the caddy. All right, on the rundown, we got a few minutes as we get ready. Next week, Josh, Misty will have our bracket challenge. Again, opportunity for you to win some cash. All you got to do is enter. Josh will get it posted. You'll have to just go from there. And the brackets will be ready. Pay attention, games will start next Thursday.
I know, that's
It's
one
a
of the things
quickest
about
turnaround.
this. It's like,
a quick
they
turnaround.
announce it on Sunday, on Monday, you gotta start
You
working
gotta
on
post
that.
it, yeah.
Like,
Because there's, I guess, can you set it up now? I guess you can.
set up the bracket challenge.
And join, and then your bracket will be
You
there.
fill in your bracket as it's posted. I'll work on that
Yeah,
today.
we'll see if Josh can get that done. So I threw this out there. Brackets, ranked selection type games, March Madness, Kentucky Derby, fantasy football, square boards. Am I missing anything? What is your most fun thing to do?
That's so hard because.
And it may have to roll into next Friday, but I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I really enjoy the bracket, because it's something that just, like, historically, at my house, my kids all get into it, and, that make a big deal. We put them up on the wall, and as the, in the shop, and like, as the games happen, there's big excitement to go either highlight your win or put the X on someone else's loss, and have those fun competitions. And so I really do like that. And obviously I like playing fantasy football as well, but it's not a singular event that you can get like super like into, so I'm going bracket.
Yeah, I know. I think I have to also because it's just so fun. And it's literally like, there's always some fun, like underdog crazy story you never saw coming, dark horse situation. So I think I probably have to say March Madness also, but I do love football.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that it's one of those things that like even non-sports people will do, like in the office pool,
Yes.
I mean, it is the masters of college basketball.
Right.
I mean, the two biggest weekends of, they say, of vasectomies are next weekend and Masters
Yeah,
weekend.
because you can just sit around
And do nothing.
and relax.
I do think the bracket is fun. I love it because, Josh's point, everybody gets in, random people get in, and somebody that doesn't even know basketball wins because they pick, for some reason, colors of uniforms, mascots they love, or places they've been, and they find a way to win. It does get everybody involved, so I am a fan of that. Fantasy football is fun. Now, the thing about fantasy football that's struggling is you can be done. And like, okay, now I just got to hope.
Yeah, if you're not doing a daily thing, if you're doing a season thing.
And don't get me wrong, there's bracket busters, but normally those bracket busters are chalk that everybody else picked and it goes south. Now, you can get gambly and have one person that is the one that ruins your bracket because you had Tech going all the way to the Final Four, and that could happen. So that's fun. But, we talk about the Kentucky Derby. It's what, the greatest 2 minutes in sports, or the most electrifying, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the way March Madness is. It's the most electrifying 3 to 4 weekends in sports. And you watch, you stay up late, you catch the 9 o'clock game and hope you can get through most of it, then you fall asleep, and then it's over, and then you get a little breather, and then you wait till next Thursday.
Yeah, that first weekend, that Thursday through Sunday, is just nonstop something on TV, and because you fill out a bracket, every one of those games matters.
Well,
Yes.
instead of a fantasy football player, you got a fantasy football team that you're following and watching.
Right. And yes, because like I said, every game matters, at least in that first weekend. Now, the second weekend, you might have some games that you didn't pick either one of those two teams, and
Right.
whatever. But
So what is your strategy? We'll give them a little help. Is since you're about to be in that bracket of 40-year-old, what is your wisdom, Misty, when you go into your brackets next week and you go to fill them out because you don't want to lose to us? Obviously, we can't win the prize, but you don't want to lose. Well, how will you approach the bracket? Heart, mind, or everything in between?
Yeah, I kind of taken everything in between approach because I know there's always going to be upsets. A few years ago, I think I was the only one that picked Oral Roberts, and that busted everybody's bracket. I think there was only like 5% of everybody in the world picked them. So every once in a while I get lucky. I will throw some upsets in there. I used to pick more upsets, but I've gotten a little wiser, and so I do pay a little bit more attention to the actual teams. But yeah, I'm kind of a mix. I will obviously pick Tech for a while, I'm sure, because I like their Red Raiders. But yeah, I would say I'm everything in between when I'm picking.
I typically try to stay away from picking upsets because they're upsets for a reason. But then you get these thoughts of a 5-12, like a 12. There's going to be a 12 that wins.
Right.
There always is.
Yep.
But I'm not going to pick the right one. So just pick the 5.
So do you go just straight up like stats?
Oh no, I mean I don't go chalk in it because especially in those mid tiers, sometimes I'm not sure how some of those things work out. It's like, for example, we have those goofy play-in games, and you have a play-in game because you didn't make the tournament, but then you go into the tournament as
a 10 seed.
So shouldn't you be the 16th seed if you can't even make the tournament? I mean, it's like stuff like that.
I think they made it to where that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday games are entertaining. It's not two teams you've never heard of playing.
Right.
So, my favorite, and I'll end it with this, is I like the Survivor stuff. I like the Survivor bracket things.
Yeah.
Whether it's football, I'm in a golf one. Pick it, you're done. That's why I'm rooting for Hideki today. I'm glad. I need him to make the cut today. So, anyway, hey, we appreciate it, Misty. Hope you have a fabulous birthday.
Yeah, 40 and fab.
40 and fab, all the things. What's your homework?
Who's on first base with me?
Exactly right. And Josh has already sent you the link, so.
I'm on it.
Download, subscribe, rate, review, JB Cloud. Don't forget tonight, Rick Trevino out at Potosi Live. Of course, Greg Austin and Outlaws and Legends next weekend. Get your tickets. We'll be back next week with more Hodge Pack, sports life, and everything in between.
Okay, we can take a quick selfie. Emerald's already at BCT, so